Okay, so if you don't know, I'm Deanna with the Luxury Resale Association. I'm the executive director. I do a lot of different things, but one of the things I love doing is hosting these webinars with people that I know I like and that I find super interesting and have great stories. So today we are welcoming Abe Sanchez from Article Consignment, and I'm going to let him tell you all about himself, but know that he's been in this industry long enough to see a massive changes. He has a brick and mortar store. You have a couple of stores. And while today we're here to talk about finding your why, I love to hear how people do this and actually have a life. Like, he's married, he has kids, like balancing that. And then why did you get into this? And what's your driver? Like, I know what my drivers are. Education. That's my biggest thing. So I'm going to turn it over to Abe, and he's going to tell you all about himself.
Awesome. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here. One of my passions, and I'll share with you my purpose, my why a little later, but my passion is education and giving back. All the knowledge that I've acquired is because somebody shared it with me. And I just love that opportunity to be able to pay it forward. So a little bit about us. So Val and I, my wife, we co-own Article Consignment. And she has been my partner in crime since second grade. I've known her forever, and we have been best friends
Oh,
most of those years. We really kind of got to know each other once she moved in next door to her grandmother's house. And so she was the girl next door, and that was middle school. And so we got to know each other very well. And then by the time I had my driver's license, we rode to school together, shared a locker in high school. It was great. So fast forward, we got engaged in college. We lived in Santa Barbara, and I got into the construction engineering industry. I worked for UCSB, and I really loved it. I loved the industry, the design build industry, and construction engineering. And that was a great place to live right there on the beach.
oh yeah.
But then we finally realized that if we ever wanted to grow up and own our own home and have children, it was not going to happen there unless we were trust fund babies. So we decided to grow up and move to Sacramento. And I continued my career in the industry. And then in 2009, I was laid off, and I made it through two waves of layoffs in our company, but I didn't pass that second. And so I got laid off in 2009. It was February. At the time, we had our first daughter, and she was one,
Oh
and
gosh.
that's Julianne. And so I spent a lot of time that year together with her, really bonding, because prior to that, she pretty much was raised at a daycare. We both were full-time career driven people, and we dropped her off early in the morning and picked her up late in the afternoon. And I just realized at that moment that I needed something different. That was not my purpose. And
Yeah.
my life needed to have more work and life balance. And so we started kind of researching and doing some looking into the different industries. I've always had a passion for anything related to like fashion or luxury or style. And it was kind of unattainable at that point in my life, but I always appreciated it. And I saw the value of authenticity and that sort of thing. So I kind of was talking to my mom, and she was the one that introduced me to resale. So I got to meet with somebody about it, and that was where it kind of clicked for me. I knew that that was something that I could really get behind. I appreciated the sustainability aspect of it, the opportunity to be able to share, something wonderful with somebody else and give it a whole new life. I also see the value of something that may have been super expensive to begin with, may not be as expensive to resell, but it gives somebody that may not have been able to afford it originally the opportunity to appreciate and enjoy that. And it's just,
Yeah.
to me, it's fascinating to be able to see that. And it's become what I love to do now. So we opened Article December of that year, of 2009, and by 2011, Val was able to join me full time, and we now have two daughters, two stores, and a robust website. We do live selling videos as well, both on Facebook and Instagram. That basically came about because of COVID. There was a colleague of ours that I got to know really well at NARTS. And I remember the day where I did my first live. We were on a resale bus tour, and I was in the front, she was in the back. She stood up and she yelled across the bus and said, "Abe, get your phone. You're going live right now." And I'm like, "What? You can't do that. Like, I didn't even prepare. I didn't do it." And she's like, "That's the point." And so I literally went live for the first time on the tour bus just to let our fans and friends know that we were in, I don't remember where we were at the time, but we let them know where we were at and what we were doing. And that was kind of that Band-Aid ripoff, you know, it took some hair with it, but it was like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And so we knew we could do it. We knew that we had the ability to do it. We had done it before that, but we weren't as serious about it until
Yeah.
COVID. And so that was our only way that we could really continue doing business. And so we did, and we hit it hard every day. And we learned to do both Instagram and Facebook at the same time. And so that was an opportunity for us to grow and pivot, as they say. So now here we are 15 years in, and I still love what I do. I still have a huge passion for the industry and luxury, but I am finding an itch that I need to scratch. And I am super excited to kind of pivot again, personally, though. And so I look forward to what comes ahead. And it really does come down to that purpose, that why. Once you really understand that, it really gives you an opportunity to figure out what it is, what else there is for you. And there's no limit, you know, you can just keep going and keep trying and keep doing things. You're a testament of that. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
So what is it that you want to do now?
Well, without giving too much details, it really comes down to, like I said, giving back and education. I love speaking. I love being in front of the camera, and I love being both on live video, or like I also like news and media. Like, I love being on the local news and media. I'm great at last minute. I don't need a script, you know, and I don't need the questions in advance. Like, I can just talk, and I love it. And I love speaking in front of, you know, large crowds and organizations.
So you're going to
It,
be a coach?
s- um, I
I think
can't.
it's great. And I think you would
Yes.
be perfect at it because what, okay, so you've been in business for 15 years. So you started in 2009 when, God, I miss that time. I really do, because you could go to the thrift stores and find Chanel and all this good stuff. And it wasn't so everybody's doing it right now, you know, which I mean, that's awesome. It's great. The industry has grown. But like for me, I've been doing this. I've been thrifting since I was like a kid. We used to go to the flea markets and go. I just have always had a proclivity for things that are the most expensive, and I loved it. But for myself, it's always been at times a means to pay the bills. You know, I could go to my Goodwill down the street and buy enough things because I know I can touch, I can feel it. It's just when you've been doing this for so long. I mean, I could go in there with my eyes closed and pick up expensive stuff. But that led to, okay, this is a job, but there was a love to it.
Mhm.
To me starting when I started Closet Full of Cash, I was like, I'm trying to find answers for this stuff and there's nothing out there. Like, and I don't know if I'm not dumb, but I don't like when I started publishing books, I'm like, I need this. Why? Nobody's done it. I need it. I'm going to do it.
What
So
if
I just do
I
it, you know?
I don't know what dumb where that came
Well,
from. You're
I
the
don't,
opposite of dumb. You're like brilliant.
but
No,
see,
you are
I
passionate.
don't see that. And this is
Oh,
where I think it ties in all together. I work out of my home. I don't leave my home. I'm in front of the computer all day long, but I have such a drive and a passion for what I do that I'm not like, oh, I did this, like, good job. I'm like, no, what's next? Like, let's build, 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 because there's so much lacking out there. That's my driver and my passion. And I think why do I do this? Because if it helps one person, and as frivolous as you may think it be, these are, $1,000 items. So if I can help someone, then that's it. If I can educate someone emailed me today and she's buying a Chanel off of eBay. And she asked the woman that was selling it to send her a picture of the chip. And she's like, can she do that? And I was like, no. The
can't
chip is
open.
embedded in it. But even that, like she doesn't know until she does know. So if I can help out in little ways like that, and just like I'm the same way, you want to give back because I've been burned, I've been screwed, I've been taken advantage of. It happens, but most people, if they're good people, they learn and they want to share how to avoid this or what to do in this situation and everything like that. This has been my driver. I had no clue what I wanted to do in my life. I kind of fell into this, but I followed the pull in my heart and my soul. I don't know how I ended up where I did, but I've always believed in what I was doing, and blindly. Like, I don't care if it's never been done before, I'm going to do it because if I need it, other people need it, and I'm crazy enough to take that leap. I mean, I've been the first book that I published. Like the books that I published, they're picture books, but they're luxury goods. You can't send that to an editor. Okay. They were self-published. My first one, I was eviscerated. Like, this messed me up. Some girl did a video on YouTube and just annihilated me. And I was like, I was trying to do something nice, and I would never do something like that. But even that setback, and that was a massive setback for me. I didn't publish another book for a long time. Now I'm like,
Right?
do what I got to do. And you know what? You want to go, I've got tougher skin. It still hurts. I'm
Yeah.
human, but I'm going to keep going because that's my driver. That's my passion.
And
That's my why, you
that's your
know?
why. So what happens is I think we forget, when somebody hurts us that deep and they trigger maybe what is maybe an insecurity or something, that question that you have in your mind where you're like, oh, wait a minute, what if people find out? Like, she actually knows something or whatever. Like, it's that
I'm a
insecurity.
fraud.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, if you go back to the why, you go back to the purpose, and you're like, well, I don't give a crap,
Yeah.
because all of these other people, they're successful because of me, because of what I did. I took a leap of faith, and because of what I did, I was able to publish something to educate the community, and all these other people are now using this to make themselves successful and support their families and create a legacy. And so you have to like give that middle finger to
Yeah.
that person or whatever it is, and be like,
Yeah.
this is my why, this is where I'm going, this is where I got to do.
And you know what? I think that is so important for people to remember their why. And this is why I wanted to do this webinar, because you're going to go through life, whether you're in this industry or another industry, and things are going to happen that are going to knock you on your ass. That is life.
That
And
is
like Abe, you just said, you forget about the good that you're doing. I mean, I'm human. I literally wake up every single morning and beat myself up. I'm very good at snapping out of it, but I think it's kind of human nature. Like, I should be doing this. I need to do this and do this. And it's like, oh my God, chill out. So this is something I think about all the time. I need to remember who the fuck I am. Okay. I need to write down on a piece of paper, and everybody can do this because we so get in our head and forget about why we're doing the things that we're doing, that we forget how awesome we are. And I don't care who you are, unless you're a total
awesome.
asshole, then you're not awesome. But everybody else, write down your accomplishments, no matter how big or how small they are. And as long as you're taking a step forward each day towards your goals and your dreams and you're following your passion, you're awesome. And we
Yes.
remember more of that. So what do you, for you, your why now is education. So what is it? What is your driver on top of that? You know, like what keeps you going and motivated every day to, like, you started a very successful business and it's been 15 years. And I understand wanting to kind of pivot. What does that look like and how does that feel?
Okay, so taking a little step back. So one of the things that I did a couple years ago, and last year I also, so I was able to speak at a conference, and I did the keynote on this topic, the why. And during that process, and then even into last year where I taught the class on motivating people how to do that, I was able to really hone in on what mine is. So my purpose, my why is to serve with authentic purpose so that my life experiences can make an impact on others. And that's my statement. That's my why. That's what I constantly repeat to myself, to serve with authentic purpose, so that my life experience can make an impact on others. And I carefully worked through the process to make sure that I could get that statement. And they say, like, whatever it becomes, it has to be so perfect, so good that you're willing to tattoo it on you. And I would be willing to tattoo this
Wow.
because it captures all the terms of purpose, authenticity, and serve. Like that, it is what it is. It is me. And so with that being said, with being able to really kind of hone in on that, it's given me permission to really think beyond article. We have some ideas of what we want to do to make article better and stronger. And so we're planning on implementing that. But it's also with actually some of your advice. I've actually started taking the steps to start moving forward with my personal purpose. And I want to do more of this educating and giving back and driving, kind of that to encourage others to really come back to this purpose, this why. Um, I'm sorry, I forgot the question.
No. You're great. I know we're kind of like all over the place. Okay, explain this. How does one, okay, so everything you said, like you have your purpose and you would tattoo it on you. Anybody who's watching right now, don't feel bad if you don't have like your
Oh,
mission statement. I
absolutely.
am a fly by the seat of your pants kind of girl. Like I have it in my head. I have it on post-it notes. I have it in this notebook and this notebook. And it's okay if you're either, because there's some people that are just like, and then you got people like me that are just kind of throwing it everywhere. Either one is okay. What I want to ask you, Abe, because I think this is a question people try to figure out and they don't know how to. How do you figure out what your why is? How do you figure out what your passion is? And how do you actually turn that into a career?
Right. So I think that the important thing for me was I was introduced to a couple of authors that really resonated to me. And I'm sure that there are many different people out there that can guide you and help you in this area. But these two authors resonated with me. Um, Simon Sinek is one of them, and Michael Hyatt
I'm gonna
was
write it on a wait. I'm gonna write
write it
it.
on a post-it. Yes. So
Simon.
Simon Sinek, which is Synek, and then Michael Hyatt. And they have made the biggest impact on me. And they've challenged me enough to know the importance of really figuring out this statement that I just read to you, because um it's a reminder, and it allowed me to hear it and see it enough to really encourage me each time I do to continue moving forward. um I am a basket case. You and I are in good company. I do not have my shit together, but when it comes down to it, I am very passionate and I have a huge heart. And so there is lots of ways, like I said, that you can follow a plan to try to achieve this. But whatever it may be, if it's not these authors, it's others. Right now I'm listening to a book. I have a commute to work every day, so I listen to Audible, and it's the vision driven leader, and I love the way that um, this author, Michael Hyatt, he's able to break down, like you had mentioned, mission, vision, purpose. Like they all are different in their own special way. Um, and you, like you said, you don't necessarily have to have it all figured out, but trying to figure out what those are, they're like compasses, they're maps, they're coordinates to
Yeah.
help you along the way. And I highly recommend trying to figure those out. um but really it comes down to, like, you just start to find people that have paved the way ahead of us, and they got there because they worked with somebody, or they struggled. I love listening to authors who are authentic and open about their own personal struggles. um and that's one thing about these two authors that I've appreciated, because you can really tell, like, they worked hard to get to this understanding and this uh, uh, piece of literary education, and it provides us now something to be able to go off of, and I really I'm grateful for that.
I think that's one of the beautiful things is when authentic people do share their truths. And yeah, I've always been, even when I started Closet Full of Cash, I've never taken a dime. Well, I sold it and then bought it back. Um, Best deal I ever made. But I don't want to be beholden to anybody. I want to be able to say whatever I want to say. I suck at sending newsletters out. You may get one a year if you're lucky. I may post once every 4 months, but when I do post, I'm posting for a reason. I want to give back. I want to share. I want to help. That's why, like, everybody has my cell phone. If you have a question,
Oh man, I thought I was special.
you and about 3,000 other people. But what's great is no one calls me because they think I'm busy. And I'm like, thank you. But
I
if
know,
you
right?
call me, it's because you need help. Look, I didn't have a roadmap. I had no idea. Look, my 20s were awesome. I didn't know, okay? If you ever get me drunk enough, I'll tell you the truth and you're gonna die. It was awesome. But I didn't have a roadmap. I got married, I got divorced, I had a child. I bullshitted my way into a job that allowed me to keep a roof over my head. I mean, I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, but I've always kind of listened to myself. I'm like, my sister reads a lot. She reads books to better her life and everything like that. I've tried. It's just, I think I'm more of a, like, in your face. Like, I tried reading one and I was like, this is bullshit. Like, I already know all this. But I'm saying this because there's people out there like Abe that get so much out of this. And then there's people like me. So don't feel bad if
Oh, absolutely.
that doesn't
There's no
work for
right or
you.
wrong way.
No, not at all. And for me, I always ask people, if you could have a weekend off to do whatever you wanted to do, but you had to make money, and don't be stupid. Like, let's be realistic about this. How would you spend your day? Okay, I would go thrifting. And I know I could, and it's not about, no, it's all about finding luxury. I'm on the hunt for luxury. I'll go to estate sales, I'll go everywhere. But it's the thrill of it. That is my passion. That's what got me into this industry. So if you're looking to figure out what you want to do, start there.
Yeah.
What gets you excited? And the one thing I would say, because I've said this a million times, it doesn't matter where you start. Everybody starts at the same place, the beginning. All you have to do is take one step,
Yeah,
and then take another step. Because this is the beautiful thing is you have no idea that path that's going to unfold and what's going to be placed in front of you. But if you're not going forward, it's never going to happen.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love it.
We should coach together.
I know. Start
So,
our own.
so how are you going to, not that, I mean, if you're going to coach, thanks. I'm so sorry if I guessed it. But I've known you for a long time,
Yeah.
and you're one of my favorite people because you're you're so kind-hearted,
Oh,
and
thank you.
you are so authentic, and you are so giving. Like you're like super sweet. You are. But
Thank
yet, on the other hand, you're a baller. You have created an amazing, successful business. You've ran it, I mean, marriage since second grade. I love that
you.
marriage, you've raised two kids. You're in Sacramento, which is like a hot market for luxury. Believe it or not, it really is because God, go to articleconsignment.com and you'll die. It's just crazy. But you've done that and you've always kept true to yourself. But you've always been very successful. I mean, everybody I know that has ever spoken about you has spoken so highly about you.
Thank you.
How do you balance being a father, being a husband, running a successful business, and now you're on a new chapter where, this is going to open a huge world for you? How do you do all of that?
Well, honestly, it's because of having someone like Val. She is my partner. Like she is in every essence of the word. She helps me and guides me in ways that makes it so that I can actually pivot and do and try new things. We work so well together, and both of us have such a strong desire to be present in our daughters' lives. And so it allows us to really be, there for them. And this business is such a family affair. We really do. They are on the payroll. They work, even though we're about 30 minutes away from here. We do bring them in on weekends or, their days off. During the summer, they'll work. So it allows us to really spend a lot of time together. And I think what it comes down to is realizing the priorities in life and then just fighting for it. You really have to fight to spend that time with your loved ones, have some time for yourself to be able to grow, and then really devote yourself to the business and being authentic. I mean, for me, um, because of that, because of who I am and how I am, I really do feel that there are people that choose to support Article because of Val and and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And it's we've witnessed it even during COVID. We had people that we came from out of town to support us, and we were closed, but they made an appointment and came in. And so I think that the way I do it is I just, like you said, I take one step at a time, one day at a time. I pray a lot, and I just really enjoy, and I'm trying to be in the moment each and every day.
That's so beautiful. And you have such a beautiful story with you and Val. Like I know Val, and she's delightful is the word that pops into my head. I mean, she's beautiful, she's smart, she's funny, but she's just so sweet because it's rare, especially in this industry, and especially, in the landscape of the world right now, that you really meet genuinely great people. And Abe and Val are definitely one of those.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me ask you, like, say you figured out what you want to do. I found my why. Now, what do I do now? You know?
Right?
Yeah, because I think that's where people get stuck. They're like, okay, I know what I want to do. I want to do this. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to go. What do I do next? Like, can you explain how do you do it? How do you do
So
it?
one thing you have to make sure to, and I know it's easier said than done, but you have to have courage and you just have to not hesitate in asking for help. Many people struggle with that.
Yep.
I'm one of them. Like I hesitate to call you when I need
Oh my
something.
God.
I know. Um, but people like you, there's so many people out there that you can that you who are watching this can connect with. And we're waiting. We're literally waiting for someone to come out, come along and say, "Hey, what do I do? Like I have this. I want to do this. Does it sound weird? Like, I want to have a coffee shop that has vintage in it." No,
Oh my
like
God,
nobody
that's a
does
great
that. Like
idea.
that would be brilliant.
I love that.
Right. And so it's like, whatever it is, whatever this random thought in your mind is, whatever it could be, especially if no one's done it. Oh, like the possibilities are endless. And the more passion that you have towards it, the more people are going to be attracted to it. I did learn in all the
Hey,
studying
Can
that,
I can I say one thing
yes,
just
say
right
it.
there? It doesn't matter if anybody's done it before. No one is you. You
Right.
are a unique human being, and the gifts that you're going to bring to this business, like
It'll be unique.
I am the biggest stalker in the world. I know what everybody's doing, but I don't say anything. I don't comment.
I'm
I don't
closing my
you're
blinds
there.
now at night.
No, man, work in silence and let success be your noise. So I
Yes.
just wanted to say that because I don't want people to think that, oh, somebody else is doing it. No, you're
Not
going
like
to do it
you.
too.
Not
Yeah.
like you. Yeah. But I think that also, excuse me. Um, the other thing is to, like I said, ask for help,
Yes.
connect with successful people, not just in your industry though. So I know when I first started my business and I was thinking about opening my own, I connected with, friends and stuff, and they directed me to other people that were in other types of industries. But it's the ideas that they give you. For example, the one gentleman that I'm thinking of, before I even opened, I was connecting with this particular person, asking him advice on what I should do, specifically on the name. And he had encouraged me to think of a name that started with an A, because I would then be the first business during that Google search. And so I was like, that is brilliant, because now I
Wait,
don't
isn't that the yellow pages or the white pages?
know Google. Like if you do a resale shops in Sacramento, if you are, Zelda's consignment, you're going to be like 40 pages deep. But if I'm article consignment, I don't have to pay to have Google bump me to the top. Like there's going to be other people that pay, but I'm going to be next in line. And so we learned early on that we didn't have to pay for our place on a Google search.
Interesting.
So,
I didn't know that it went alphabetical.
oh yeah, no, it totally does. Yeah,
Hmm. Okay.
I know. So just being able to connect with other business owners, especially don't be shy, connecting with those who are older. You
They're the
may
smartest ones.
they're so resilient.
Well, they've lived it. They've already made your
It.
mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah. And so being able to talk to a broad spectrum of business owners in different industries, and just being open-minded. And again, just trying to, that's one thing that I will say about Article is we have never dug our heels in when it comes to anything really. When it
Yeah.
came to it, whatever our customer wanted, whatever our customer was drawn to, that's what we did. Right now, we're actually experiencing a pretty major shift in our intake and what we're accepting, that we've never experienced before in our lives. And we are really, it's all attributed to the data and what our customers want. And it's kind of uncomfortable, but again, if you go with what is working and what the data and the computer um, spreadsheets tell you, you can't go wrong. So
Yeah.
here we are.
That's awesome. And I think I think it's very smart to be open, you know, because if you want to build something, you want to build life for yourself and you want to follow your passion, you have to be open to everything. Like I've always said, like, I don't have an ego in things. Do I have an ego? Of course, I'm human, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like if, okay, I've just taken on a part-time new role at a company to help them out. Um, I'm trying to think of what I can say, what I can't say, what I should say. They're amazing. I love everybody to death. And I'm throwing ideas out there. And I told him, I said, look, I'll have a million ideas. Maybe 3 will be great. The rest are going to suck, but you have to tell me. If I give you an idea and you're like, that's horrible, I don't know. You have to tell me. Because look, half the time I think most of my ideas are stellar, but a lot of times they're bombs. So point is, as you're going on this journey, you have to be open to everything. And my God, ask for help. That is the best
Yes.
advice. People, oh, I don't want to bother you. I don't look, we're all here on this earth to help each other. Okay.
Yes.
Like if you call me, I'm going to help you. I may schedule a call with you, but I'm going to answer your questions because guess what? You need help and I want to help you. Abe the same way, you know, and it's not just us, it's not just luxury resale, it's everyone.
Really
You know,
is.
so I think that's great advice talking to, you know, other business owners in different industries. Ask them how they got started.
Yeah.
What, you know, what would they do differently? But always remember to stay true to yourself. Like if you've got some cockeyed idea that is like borderline illegal, probably don't do that. You know, surround yourself with people that lift you up and people that you can trust, people that will be honest with you,
Yep.
because that's how you succeed. No one does it alone. I
No.
mean, I work alone, but I'm talking to people all day long. And you know
Yep.
what? I've got a kid that's really, really smart. So I'll ask her things and then she'll give me the look and I'll be like, okay, that's not a good idea. We won't do
I love it. Well, they'll be the most honest with us too.
Yeah, and it's, you know, I find that when you're trying to figure out what your why, because look, everybody that walks the earth will try to figure out what their purpose is here, you know, and don't ever compare yourself to anybody else and don't think that it has to be this grand thing. It just has to make your soul feel good, you know? And I think that's what people get caught up in because they're on social media and they look at this stuff and they just think that they should be this blah 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 person. Like, look, I love to clean other people's houses, hate cleaning my own. I think is pretty normal. I would have zero problem starting a maid business and doing it on my own if I could make the kind of money I'm making now. But if that was my purpose, that's what I would do and I would
Why
kill it,
not?
you know?
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter what it is that you want to do, but you've got to figure out why you're doing it. Because trust me, if you're just looking to make money or to get famous or whatever, that's going to be
Not
a
enough.
really, no, it's not, because you're going to have a pit in your soul that is never going to be full. It just won't, you
Yep.
know?
No, that's right. Yeah, and a lot of times we do kind of wander in and out of what we're doing each day because we don't understand why we're doing it, why we're passionate about it. But once we do have that purpose, that why kind of figured out, you can kind of constantly remind yourself, hey, does this fit in my why? And if it doesn't, I need to move on.
Okay, let me ask you this. So, because I did this when I was younger, and this is, I think, how you get to where how I got to where I am right now. So you start something and you're like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm so passionate about it. I'm going to do this forever. I'm going to make so much money, blah, 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 blah. And then like, it could be 2 days, it could be 2 years. Then you're like, oh my God, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. How do you, okay, number one, give yourself grace, but
Right.
number two, understand that that's the part of the process.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
how do you move through that and kind of, how would you tell somebody that it's okay to do that, you know, to try all these different things? Because sometimes it's by process of elimination.
Absolutely. It's I'm not a huge risk taker, so I'm not one to relate much. But I will say that, you know, we will try things and we'll, you know, see what works and what doesn't.
You do with your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Um, but I will say, like, the main thing that you touched on that I agree is you've got to give yourself grace. You know, you've got to be able to say, you know what, I tried it. I at least tried. I did something. You know, I
that's
moved
it.
forward, and you have to, you know, count the wins. Um, I'm really kind of one of my latest kicks right now is manifesting. And so I really am trying to really be focused on the positive and really appreciating, you know, the good and the positive of everything, even when it's a major flop. And so, you
No,
know what
don't say that. Don't continue to do that. How do you have a vision board? Do you write things down? How do you manifest?
I pray a lot. So I just talk and I meditate, I talk in my mind. But I'm just constantly trying to remind myself. I naturally have um a heavy heart or a heavy mind. And
Uh-huh.
so I have to like really work at keeping myself positive and energized and excited. And it's funny because people that know me, that really know me, they're like, how are you so positive and happy on your live videos? Like you're always so energetic and positive. And they're like, I know you. You're not like that in person. And so, and it's all part of, again, manifesting, because it's like if you act this way and you push yourself and you appreciate, you know, there are many times where, you know, you and anyone in general, I think everyone has moments where they start to wonder, you know, gosh, you know, this is so bad and this and that, and I don't have this. And those people I'm on social media, like they're amazing, and they have the perfect family and the perfect wife, and they have the perfect this and they have the perfect
No,
that.
they don't, but I understand.
No, they don't. Uh,
No, hell no.
and you have to just kind of snap out of it, and you have to start. Sometimes it's small, but you still have to start thinking about, okay, but look at my life. I have the most amazing wife. I have the most amazing children. I
Yeah,
mean, I have the most amazing, you know, I live in the most amazing area. I have the most amazing business. I have the most amazing team, you know, and it's like even at moments where you're like, well, they're not the most amazing team. If you constantly were telling yourself, I love them. They are amazing. They work so hard. They are working on my vision, my
yeah,
why. You know, they are pouring their heart and soul into what I wanted to start and what I wanted to create. And that's something, you know, to have somebody to come each day to do what they do for my own personal vision and goal. That's
yeah. Well,
so I think that focusing on the positive, focusing on that, you know, manifesting, you know, good and positive things, there's something to be said about it, and it
oh
does.
God, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so it goes back to practicing gratitude, which is I
Yes.
it's kind of the same thing because I'll get okay, so number one, don't believe anything you see on social media ever.
Oh,
I've taken a million pictures. I took one, I didn't even take it. Somebody else took it and he put a nice little film on it. Still looks like me. That picture will be my profile picture for the next, so
forever.
I get one more. So do not believe anything you see on social media. Number two, we all get to the point where we do look at that. Like I'm like, I want a Birkin, you know, I I want this, I want this. But then I bring myself, or when things get too crazy, I bring myself back to the place of gratitude that, oh my, I have a roof over my head. I have food in my fridge. My daughter and my family and the people I care about are healthy. Sometimes you have to go that small
Yes.
and then nothing
Absolutely.
else matters.
Nothing does.
I want to tell a very quick story here about manifesting. So, oh Jesus, this was like in 2015, right before I launched Closet Full of Cash. Okay, so I had my second resale business, Hope 52.
Hmm.
When I started that business, I knew it wasn't meant forever. I knew that it was meant to bring me to the next thing, which was Closet Full of Cash. Never built a website before. I am not a writer at all, but that's what I wanted to do. So I did it. I was working a job that was literally hell.
I've been there.
Oh my God. It was like crying every single day,
It's awful.
sexual harassment.
Ah,
It was the absolute worst. A year prior, I wrote down on a yellow notepad, I want to work for a startup, a technology startup that had to do with handbags. I ripped it off the notepad, I folded it up, and I put it in a drawer. So as I'm going through this horrifying job and just, trying to get a closet full of cash off the ground, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to, bring in money and follow
survive.
my passion. So a friend of mine calls me and she's like, oh my God, have you seen this technology device called Entropy? They authenticate handbags. Okay, I'm gonna make this story real short. I reached out to them the next day and I was like, this is my name, this is who I am, we need to talk. So ended up talked to them, literally made them give me a job. And I was there for 4 years. And the only reason why I left is because I wanted to get more on the educated side. And it was my daughter's senior year. I was traveling too much, blah, blah, blah. The point is, I wrote down exactly what I wanted. And the universe, it works to give it to you.
You
Do
did.
it. Just
You
write it
did.
down. Like
You
you
manifested it.
you pray. Yeah. And that's it. Like, okay, another thing I'll tell you, because it's going to happen. I've got a check to myself for $5 million. That's all I want is $5 million. I'm going to buy a house, put the rest in the bank. That's it. That will happen. I know it will happen. When it happens, I'm not telling anyone, but it's going to happen because everything else.
You better tell me. I want to come visit.
Have you seen those memes? If you won the lottery, you wouldn't tell anybody, but everybody would know.
Right.
And it's like, 27 Birkins on that.
Right.
My point is, the world, the universe wants to give you what you want. It wants to work for you. So it's okay if you don't know what you're doing or
You want to give you what you want.
Oh God, yeah.
You do. Like, that's the crazy thing is we have
Yeah.
the ability to do it. Like, you literally demanded that job and it happened. And they're like, I don't know why, but we have to hire her. She's telling us we do. Like, you are your biggest cheerleader and you have to remember to do that. But yes, absolutely. Manifesting is so powerful.
It really is. And I love what you just said, that you are your biggest cheerleader. And look, we all get down and we all, like I said, and I think this is my expectations on myself. No one could touch me because I expect so much. And I think a lot of people are like this. You have to be able to center yourself and get to a place of gratitude and listen to your heart and your mind, not so much your mind, because your mind will drive you crazy, but listen to your heart and your soul, because I think that's where you really figure out what it is that you want to do. And it doesn't matter what you want to do, but just follow that passion. And look, if I could literally go to the beach every single day and get paid for it, I would do that. That's not realistic. So let's be realistic.
When you check, cash that $5
Oh yeah,
million,
my $5 million check, then I will.
then you will.
I would be bored out of my mind. So I will never.
No, you're going to be on the beach with your laptop.
Oh, hell no. No. I'll go to the beach in the morning and then come and work.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people do struggle with trying to figure out their why, or finding your why and then following that path. And I think that's why I always say kind of take one step towards it, one step towards that goal. And if you veer off the path, that's okay, because you never know, as you're going for this one thing that you thought that this was your passion, your true passion is leading you on another path.
Well, and that's the thing is you can't not consider the opportunities that come along the way. So,
exactly.
Yeah. And don't be afraid. Like, let's say that you decide this is where I want to go. This is what I'm meant to do. And then as you're going towards it, you do seize another opportunity and you're like, no, I've got to go to this because this is what I was supposed to do.
Now,
Wrap it, pivot, move on.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's the beauty of life, is that you can. And if that doesn't work out, something else excites you, go for it, because you never want to look back in your life and go, dang, I should have tried that. I should have had the balls to try that. What's the worst thing that can happen? Okay.
You have to pivot again.
Yeah, exactly. Be smart about your choices. We're
Yeah.
not saying quit your job and go find do it. But it's more so figuring out what makes you happy in your heart,
Yeah.
and trying to build a life and a career or whatever it may be out of that.
Yeah.
So, okay, what's next for Article and you and Val?
So, what I can say is, yes, Article is definitely getting um, very focused. We are focusing this year. Our new mantra is simple elegance.
Ooh, love it.
Our new mantra is simple elegance, and we have big changes coming. We're super excited about it. It's going to really open us up to this new chapter where I can even see where Val is super excited about it.
Aw.
And she is not passionate about luxury. She is such an intellectual, and she is literally the reason why we've made it this far, because she is behind the scenes. She's what makes, it's funny. I'm listening to a book that I mentioned, and there is a manager mentality, and then there's a visionary mentality,
Yeah.
or a leader mentality, and I'm definitely the leader mentality, and I'm just like, let's go, like this is great. We're gonna go over there, we're gonna go over there, and this is gonna happen. And Val's like, well, how are we gonna make that happen? Like, I need to figure out now. That's a lot more work for me, because I gotta make sure that you can get there, and I gotta fix this, and I gotta do that. And but the direction that we are going in, and what we've decided to do, is going to allow for her to really be fulfilled, and that's going to include a lot of traveling.
Oh, I'm
Yep.
so excited. So when can we expect to learn more about these changes?
Very soon, very, very soon, before the year end.
Okay, well, soon is like next week, so we have to wait.
No, it's going to be
I have
in
no
a couple
patience.
months.
Couple
In the
months?
next couple
Okay.
months, we will kind of announce the changes and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. So that'll be done. We've got trips already planned for next year. We want to. I have learned about Val is her passion is really less material things and more experiences.
Oh,
And so what we've decided is we need to acquire material things with experiences.
yes.
So we need to go to Paris to buy material things for our store. We need to go to Japan to buy things for our store.
Okay, so this is the fabulous thing about being in this industry is that all your trips can be a write-off.
Right? Well, not to mention what we acquire can be, then sold to pay for what we did. Uh,
Yep.
the other opportunities that we would like to consider is taking people with us. So we actually are considering doing, buying trips or shopping trips with individuals and taking people with us. So
Okay, so we should talk about this after the fact because I know someone else who's talked about doing this. And I think I have zero desire to travel internationally. I just don't.
what?
I look again, when we drink, I'll tell you about my life, and then you'll be all, oh, okay,
I
Deanna,
get
I understand why
it.
you want to chill now. No, but I know that other people have talked about buying trips over to Japan. And yeah, let's chat about that. Okay, I want to thank you so much, Abe. You know you're one of my favorite people, so I was so excited when you said yes to do this.
It's been so much fun.
Oh, you're the best. We could go on for another 5 hours.
I know.
Everybody, please go to Abe's website. It's articleconsignment.com. And
Shoparticleconsignment.com.
shoparticleconsignment.com. He has the best stuff on there, and the prices are amazing. I know because I stock it all the time. Also follow him on Instagram, and they go live. I know you go live every Saturday morning.
Yes. So this month we are actually trying something new. We're also going to do Wednesdays at 9 a.m. And Val and I are going to continue this month. And basically we are bringing up some really fun facts about 3 different brands each day, each time we go live. And so we just did Chanel, Christian Dior, and Chloe on Wednesday. They are still on our profiles. And so each week we're going to highlight 3 brands and educate on them. And it's super fun. It gives us an opportunity to learn more about them. And then, of course, share about that. And then on Saturdays is all about luxury. It's our Luxury Live, and it's basically all of our new arrivals. Actually, there's a couple right there.
Very,
Yeah,
ooh,
I've got an Hermes
very
in
nice.
that box, and then I've got that beautiful brand new Louis on the top there. And so it's all about new arrivals on Saturday.
So you guys got to follow Abe. And just so you know, all of his items are 100% authentic. He actually sends me his counterfeit so I can use for educational training. I actually just got 5 boxes in from someone else.
Gosh,
Ah,
that's a lot.
it is a lot. So I got to figure out where I'm gonna. Well, I have a storage for my counterfeits. So, but follow Abe. Abe is fabulous too. Like, make sure you follow him on Instagram and watch his lives and go shopping on his website.
Yes.
Him and Val are fabulous. And if somebody had questions after this, how do you want to give an email out? Do you have?
Absolutely.
Can
Yeah.
they?
So reach out to me, Abe, ABE at articleconsignment.com. And yeah, look out for a lot of really exciting things, not only for Article, but for myself. I'll be doing a lot of really cool things in the new year. But Article is going to really experience an amazing transformation.
Do
And
you
so,
have an Instagram or a website yourself?
no, I do not.
Abe, I've been
I
getting on
have.
Abe to do
I
this. So
know. I
people
know.
want to follow you. So
I'm
if you
working on
follow,
it. I'm
yeah,
working on it. So that
okay.
is all part of the vision of creating my own brand for me. So, but thanks to you, I do have my domain, and I was able to get my name, which is great. I'm super excited about that. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, I have my name as my domain. So,
Awesome. Well, thank you again,
you're
Abe.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and thank you all for watching. And if you need support in luxury resale or you need anything, you can always contact me through the Luxury Resale Association.com, or
And
you
don't
can follow.
hesitate, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're always here. And my email address is in YouTube. Just click about and it's right there. Send me a message. Always down to help. And thanks for watching. And thank you, Abe. And can't wait to see what's happening next.
All right.
All
Well, we'll
right,
see
you
you
take care.
soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.